everyone, welcome to Unlocking Harmonic Language Week 3 for the guitar. Last week we talked about the four movements. That's major to major, minor to minor, major to minor, and minor to major. Today we're going to try some chord chemistry. We're going to mix the sound of major with the sound of diminished. First, let's talk about the tritone. A tritone is three whole steps away from each other. So C to D is a whole step. We also call that a tone. D to E is another whole step. And E to F sharp is another whole step. So when we play C to F sharp, we call that a tritone. If you remember your triad table, the C diminished triad has this sound in it. Tritones are very tense, and so your initial reaction might be to this chord is that you don't like the sound. But if you know the guitar neck fairly well, you're going to find that this is just a bar chord away from being an A flat 7 chord. So that's the whole idea. What we're going to do is take the sound of C major here and combine it with the sound of E diminished. This turns the C major chord into the C dominant 7th chord. Let's do the same thing with F major. We're going to play F major here, and then we're going to play A diminished. Put them all together. You wind up with an F7 chord. Okay, so we have a C major mixed with an E flat diminished. So of course we have two common tones, E and G. We just add the B flat on top of a C chord. And we have the C7 chord, also called the C dominant 7 chord. What's the big deal about this chord? Well, every major scale will contain one dominant 7th chord based on the 5th note of the scale. For instance, let's do just F major. So I have F major 7, G minor 7, A minor 7, B flat major 7, C dominant 7, that's the one we're talking about, D minor 7, E minor 7 flat 5, and then F major. So there's only one C7 chord, and that C7 has a strong pull back to the tonic chord F. Let's explore the nature of this interval. I call the tritone a slingshot. That tension that gets pulled is like pulling back a bow, and it usually goes this way. So I take my E and I move it up a half step to F, and I take the B flat and I move it down a half step to A. So I have E and B flat, the 3rd and the 7th of a C7 chord, and then I move this way to F and A, which is the root and the 3rd of an F major chord. Now if I invert these notes, say B flat to E, I take the E and I move it up to F, and the B flat I move it down to A. So tons of music works this way. We're going to take the dominant 7th chord and add it to movement 1. So instead of C major to F major, we'll do C7 to F major. One thing about the dominant 7th chord is since it has 4 notes in it, we can have 3 different inversions. So C7 in root position is this. First inversion starts on E. Second inversion starts on G. And third inversion starts on B flat. We're going to find that the third inversion will be really close to the root position again. So we'll make some modifications to the exercises so that that works out better for us. Let's take F7. So we'll take an F major, add it to an A diminished. Two common tones are A, C, and we just add the E flat on top. So F7 in root position is F, A, C, E flat. First inversion, second inversion starts on C, and the third inversion starts on E flat. Now we're going to do movement 1A, which is C7 to F. Move it up here. So that's the complete exercise, but we have a lot more possibilities. So we can try a second octave. So when I finished my third inversion, C7, I landed on a second inversion, F major. When I do my second octave, I'll do a root position, C7, and still go to a second inversion, F major. So these are pretty cool. You can keep traveling up the neck if you'd like. You'd have to figure out the notes, but it's a great exercise. Another cool thing about the dominant 7th chord is that it also likes to go to minor chords. So we can go from C7 to F minor, and it also works really well. So that's movement 3. We're going to call this movement 3A, C7 to F minor. Take your time here. Second octave, I'm going to start from a root position C7 to a second inversion F minor. Now we're going to try going from an F7 to a B flat major. So that's movement 1, now going from F7 to B flat. I chose to put these exercises on the middle part of the neck, moving up. You can, of course, start them down here if you'd like. Try that again. Now when I get to my second octave, once again, I'll start from the root position dominant chord. All right, and finally, going from F7 to B flat minor works. These chords sound very menacing and cool. All right, for the higher octave, we're going to go up the neck quite a bit. Lots of possibilities here. So this week we're going to modify movement 1 and movement 3 with dominant chords. So that's C7 to F major, C7 to F minor. Also F7 to B flat major, and F7 to B flat minor. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and the exercises, and I'll catch you next week.